All right, today we are diving into an ancient concept that honestly feels like it was written for this exact moment in time. We're going to talk about that feeling of intense, almost overwhelming opportunity and the profound test that comes right along with it.
You know that feeling, right? It's like life just slammed its foot on the gas. All of a sudden, that project you've been grinding on just takes off. Your inbox is overflowing with opportunities, invitations, people wanting to collaborate. Your mind is just on fire with new ideas, and it feels like your gut is screaming yes to a dozen different things at once.
Well, according to the ancient wisdom of the I Ching, this isn't just some random burst of luck or a weird, chaotic week. It's actually a specific, definable event. It has a name. It's called the Feng moment. And understanding what that is, well, it could be the difference between truly thriving and just completely burning out.
Okay, so let's get into this. The Feng moment comes from Hexagram55. The character, Feng, it literally means abundance, or like a brilliant burst of light. Now the hexagram structure is thunder over fire. Just picture that for a second. The decisive, moving energy of thunder, combined with the clarity and bright light of fire. It's a symbol for a peak moment, when everything, your insight, your power, your opportunities, all just collide with maximum intensity.
But here's the thing. This peak energy period, it's not meant to last forever. It is a gift, absolutely, but it's also a trial. It's like the universe is fast-tracking all these gifts to your doorstep, but at the same time, it's kind of leaning in and asking, so, are you really ready for all this? And that question, that's the central challenge of Feng.
And this is what it all boils down to. The whole test isn't just about success, it's about your capacity. Can you handle that much energy? Can you manage all that light, all that attention, that flood of opportunity without being completely consumed by it? Are you a strong enough vessel to hold this cosmic downpour?
Ultimately, this whole test pushes you toward one of two outcomes. On the one hand, you could master this energy, navigate its intensity, and emerge totally reborn, like a phoenix, stronger, transformed. Or the surge just completely overwhelms you. And that leads to anxiety, exhaustion, and total crushing burnout. The stakes really couldn't be any higher.
So, how do you make sure you end up as the phoenix? Thankfully, the hexagram isn't just a warning. It's also a map. It actually lays out 6 very distinct stages that act as a guide for navigating this incredibly intense period of your life.
This map tells a very clear story. It kicks off with first contact, that amazing initial rush of opportunities. But pretty soon, you encounter the first shadows, which is when all that brilliant light starts creating some strain and anxiety. At the peak of this crisis, you have to pay the price for all this abundance, usually some kind of necessary sacrifice. It's right then that the ally appears, a key relationship that helps you turn everything around. And from that point, your path splits to one of two fates, either achieving true radiance from within or becoming a hollow shell, looking great on the outside, but feeling empty inside.
We can actually group this journey into 3 key phases. So, the first 2 stages, that's all about the initial rush. The lesson here is simple. Trust the flow, definitely, but you have to build in rest. Then you hit the peak with stages 3 and 4, which is the peak and the price. This is where you learn that huge success demands a real sacrifice and that you have to seek out allies to get through the crisis. The final stages, 5 and 6, that's the aftermath. This is the final choice, the final reckoning, where you either learn to radiate from a place of inner strength or you find out you've just become a hollow success.
Okay, so understanding the stages is one thing. That's the what. But how do you actively prepare? How do you build yourself into a person who can actually handle all that light? This next part is all about the practical work, about becoming a worthy container for abundance.
These ideas are really the foundation. Just think about them for a second. True abundance isn't about grabbing and hoarding. It's about knowing what to let flow through you. To handle the light, you have to acknowledge the shadow it casts, the stress, the anxiety. And my favorite, the greater the energy, the deeper the center. It all comes back to your own inner stability.
And this is really the ultimate takeaway. So much of our culture is about chasing the next win, the next opportunity, right? But the wisdom of Feng just flips that completely on its head. It suggests our focus shouldn't be out there, it should be internal.
The real work is strengthening our own capacity, building a spiritual and emotional vessel that won't crack under the pressure when success arrives.
So, here's a really simple practice to start doing that work. First, get real with yourself. Where are you overinflated? Your need to control, your anxiety, your habit of comparing yourself. Then use this affirmation to practice letting go. I am willing to be an empty cup, not one that must be full. The visualization is about feeling that you're worthy of the energy, letting it fill you without breaking you. And that leads to the final, most important step.
So, as you're standing in the light of your own Feng moment, whether it's happening right now or it's just on the horizon, this is the question to hold on to. All this abundance, what is it truly for? Is it for your ego, for status, or is it for something deeper, to serve, to create, to give something back? Because the purpose that you give your abundance, that's what will ultimately decide whether it illuminates you or just burns you out.